those moments that you guys feel like you're going through a valley, you guys have read the Bible verse, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow. I said, words are so important because it didn't say, yea, though I walk in my valley. It said, yea, though I walk through my valley. Why? Words, again, words change my life. Language arts change my life. Words are so important because it said, if I walk into my valley, there's a promise that you're going in, but there's no promise that you're coming out. But if it said I'm walking through my valley, there's a moment where you enter, there's a moment where you gotta stay, but also there's a moment that you gotta exit.
Welcome to the Mindset on Resilience podcast, where we're building a more confident, resilient, and mentally strong community. I'm your host, Daniel Truelove, and I'm excited to bring to you all the guests that we have today. He's well known, travels the country, giving inspirational messages not only to educators and students, but also to people all around, companies, organizations. Dynamic. I call him somebody. He's my inspiring friend. Someone that I can call when I have questions. Someone that just shoot a message to me to inspire me. That's who he is. So I'm excited that I get the chance to sit down, have a conversation with none other than inspirational speaker, Mr. Caleb Wesco. How you doing today, man?
Man, what's going on, everybody? It's Caleb Wesco, motivational speaker to keep you going every single day. Let's get motivated. And hey, I just want to let y'all know he said all those nice things, but Daniel's a bad man. That's a bad man on the other side of that camera, guys. Y'all make sure y'all go follow him. But what's going on, my friend? How you doing?
Y'all see what I'm talking about? You see what I'm saying? This is exactly what I'm referring to right here. That is exactly what I'm referring to, Mister. Let's get motivated and the Let's Get Motivated experience, and it is just that. It's an experience. So, Caleb, man, how's everything going with you today?
Man, as my grandfather would say, every time that we talk to him, he always says these words. He says, "I'm blessed and highly favored of the Lord. I walk by faith and not by sight. I'm too blessed to be stressed, too encouraged to be discouraged, too healed to be sick, too anointed to be disappointed. I'm above and not beneath. I am the lender and not the borrower." He says that every single time on the phone. Good day, bad day. So I'm like, you know what? I just got to echo my granddad. That's how I am right now. So
I love it. That's a mindset right there. That's the mindset. So let's get right into it because you start the conversation off just kind of what like kind of grounds your mindset and you talking about how your father, his kind of grandfather, kind of set that expectation. So tell us a little bit about your journey to the work that you do right now. How'd you get there?
well, the journey has definitely been a roller coaster. And for those that are listening, if you're in education or just riding in your car or watching this on Instagram or YouTube or whatever this is, um, definitely take some notes because my journey has been a journey of ups and downs. There's been ins and outs, but I like to say this: when life goes up and down, it's kind of like a heart rate monitor. Now, when you look at a heart rate monitor, when it's going up and down, Daniel, I got a question. Is that a good sign or a bad sign when you see it? It's a good sign, right? Because why? Why is it a good sign? Talk to me. It means that you're still alive. For those that are here with the resilient mindset, you may have your ups and you may have your downs, but that just you're just living. Now, if you flatline, now that's a different story, right? If you're just being complacent or just life is just the same all the time, that's when you want to be concerned. But when you go through your peaks and through your valleys, all you're doing, you're just living. So for me, I would say my actual journey started off well. I kind of go all the way back. So my father passed away when I was 6 years old. I was raised in a single parent household, so there's a lot of individuals that are raised in the same similar situation. Um, as you guys can tell, if you're watching the video, I go to the gym. No, I don't go to the gym. I don't at all. But I was bullied a lot when I was in our grade school, and as you see, I wear glasses. Went through years of that, and then not only that, but for the impact of the educators out there. I remember I had one teacher. I never say the name, but sixth grade. And she said to me, she said, Caleb, you're never going to be anything. And to be honest, she was right. She had a human moment. Educators, I'll stop and say this. Um, Before you're teachers, you're humans first. So as a human, you will have those human moments where them students they get on your nerves. It happens. That moment, I was a bad kid, and she just had a human moment. But fast forward through life, everything went well. Graduated high school, went to college. Things are going well. I ended up working for this wireless company. It's now T-Mobile, but Sprint. It was Sprint at the time. Traveled all around the world doing sales and stuff. So I went to about I want to say 48 different states. So I've only haven't been to Hawaii and Alaska, right? So so you see where the Alaska comes in. Uh, by the way, if y'all don't know, it's an inside conversation that we had. So from there, then the pandemic happened. Everything is going right. Remember, I said peaks and valleys? Peaking, success. I'm traveling. All of a sudden, valley, pandemic hits. A valley because during the pandemic, my job was to travel. But what's the one thing that you couldn't do during the pandemic? You can't travel. So then I get an unexpected email and it says, unfortunately, your position no longer exists. I'm like, what? So they said, either we can give you a position that's way less pay, or we'll give you a severance package and you can kind of go along your way. Now, when you talk about mindset and being resilient, that was a moment where I have to shift my mindset of do I take less pay or take a risk on myself? You may be in that situation right now. It's like, oh, do I take a risk on myself or do I stay in my comfort zone? Right? Do I stay where I'm comfortable at? So what I did, I said, you know what? They giving me a little bit of money. Let me take a chance on myself. So I said, you know what? Let me get the severance package and I'll go as an entrepreneur. Now, this is very important because this happened around the exit of 2020. So December 31st of 2020, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, right? Man, I'm going into the new year. I'm like, man, things are going to be awesome. All of a sudden, 9:38 a.m. January the 1st of 2021, I said, you know what? I want to start my day off. So I want to go get some morning fuel, the morning liquid of the gods. So what am I talking about? I'm talking about that coffee. So I want you to tell me, where did I go? What coffee place did I go to? Tell me. Now, Daniel, I just said, I just said that I'm a starting off entrepreneur. See, you bougie. You bougie. And the other people that are listening, y'all probably bougie too. Y'all like, he went to Starbucks. No, I went to Dunkin' Donuts, y'all. I was balling on the budget, right? I was balling on the budget. So I went to the donuts, Dunkin' Donuts. I'm driving. I got my motivational, inspirational music going on. I'm like, man, this is my first day. All of a sudden, I'm going through a green light and wham. Out of nowhere, guy comes and runs the red light, 9:38 a.m., hits my car so hard that it goes into a 360. His car is going so fast that it hits a light pole and it folds around the light pole. Not only that, but he hits that light pole and the car folds around the light pole so hard that it shook the light pole and the power line landed on top of my car. That's how a journey starts. That's how my entrepreneurial journey started. Oh yeah, and to kind of further tell the story, when I walked out of the accident, yes, I said I walked out of the accident. I only had a scrape on my foot. I looked at the guy's car and I was like, he's not here no more. There's no way that that man survived. Luckily, he was okay. He crawled out the other side. He had to break the window, go out the other side of his car. So the worst thing that happened in that situation was my car was totaled. His car was totaled. I had a scrape on my foot and he peed on himself. That's how my entrepreneurial journey started. Now, for the people that are, spiritual out there, they were like, that's a sign that you need you need to go back. You need to go back to work. You ain't supposed to do that. But remember, life is about the ups and the downs. It's about your peaks and your valleys. When you have those moments when you're going up and down, that's not a bad sign. It shows that you're still alive. The way I looked at it when time went by, because I was upset, I didn't have nowhere to travel. But when time went by, I said to myself, I'll tell this story one day. And that's the mindset that you have to have when you're going in life, when you're educating students and you may have down days. Use those moments as teachable moments. As speakers or as leaders out there, when you have those days where it seems like there's nothing going right, use those moments as teachable moments because one, it shows that you're relatable. But two, it shows your resilience. It shows your growth mindset through those things. And if I didn't go through that experience back then I wouldn't have the story today. Right. So I will say this last thing, and then after that, we'll move on. But my guy Daniel, he's probably not going to tell y'all, but I'm going to tell y'all. He's going through right now. He said, he's like, man, I got a whole bunch of things that I'm doing, and I'm losing my voice. Daniel, this is some content right here. Ready? Here we go. How many people feel the same way when they're approaching their dreams, their goals, and their visions? I have something to offer, but I feel like I'm losing my voice. It's being taken away from me by negativity, low self esteem, procrastination. I'm losing my voice. I used to have big influence at the place where I worked, but probably somebody new came in and management started shaking some things up. I'm losing my voice. I'm trying to be a better spouse, a husband, or a wife or stuff, but I have old habits that I'm trying to break. And every time I take a step forward, I take a step back, and then nobody's respecting me in the house because I'm trying to change myself so I can change my environment. But nobody's listening to me because they're like, you're the same old person. I'm losing my voice. When individuals go through those situations where you feel like your voice is being lost, even though it's a whisper, even if it may come out as a whisper, keep speaking because in your valley moments, you still have something to offer. When you're getting in your peaks, yell at the mountaintop because you got something to offer. But your valley should not change the voice that you have and the inspiration that you have to do things as you move forward. So when you said that you're losing your voice, I said, man, and you said you were going to school. I said, man, that's content right there. That's content. It's like for those that feel like they're losing their voice, you're not losing it. It's just a time to get quiet and really communicate with the people. It's like, I want you to really hear what I'm saying. And then after that, you move on from there. But man, that's the kind of story. And I'm sticking to it. That's the story.
I love it. I mean, that's kind of the way we started this, like the mindset that your grandfather instilled with you, and I think that's super important because that perspective. They say teach them while they're young, and it'll never depart from them. And I can think about me growing up. There's some things my parents have said, and it still sticks with me to this day. But I want to rewind back a little bit before we get into all the amazing things you're doing because I love the energy. I love it. Like you got me. I'm locked in over here. I'm listening. You know what I'm saying? But man, I want to kind of go back to that educator that said that about you. You said she was having a moment. We're human, and I get it. I have a similar story. I lost. You lost your father. I lost a sister at 2, a brother at 10, and another sister at 14. And so I had a lot of knucklehead moments when I was younger. How did you um, overcome those to become like who you are today? Like, was there ever an educator that saw something different in you than the one that didn't see what that one saw? Like, how'd you continue to press forward?
Well, I'll focus on the educator first that said it, and then after I move on to the teacher that really kind of changed the situation for me. The teacher that said it, now that I'm more mature, I understand that she was just having a moment. So for educators that are listening, you're going to have moments. For people that are just going through life, you're going to have moments that you just snap on somebody. It happens to even me. The motivational speaker, yeah, right? You're going to have moments. You're going to have moments where you're sick and tired of somebody. You just want to tell them a piece of your mind and stuff. You're going to have moments. I wasn't helping it out because I was going through trying to find myself. This was around 6th grade. So I'm transitioning from elementary school to middle school. I'm transitioning from everybody talking about, gargoyles, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oh, see, I didn't think I was old enough, right? Well, S Club 7. What's some of the other show? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hey Arnold. Hold on. Recess, right? That I'm transitioning from that to now people talking about stuff like, hey, do you smoke? I don't know what smoking is. Right. Hey man, fight that person in the back of the bus. Hey, sit back here in the back of the bus. And we all know what happens at the back of the bus. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's clowning and stuff. So I'm going through that transition and trying to fit in, When you usually have students that are standing out, really what they're trying to do, they're trying to fit in, right? They're not problem students. They're just trying to find themselves in the classroom. I was trying to find myself, but I couldn't find myself because I wasn't really good at school. So I'm like, I know I'm funny, so be the class clown. So I pushed her to that moment that she had a human moment. So for teachers, leaders, anybody listening to it, it's okay to have a human moment. But also on the flip side, those moments will create self fulfilling prophecy because it's the part of the story I didn't tell. When she said that, there was no love lost between us, man. I would go at her every day, she would go at me. Finally, I got a referral in sixth grade. I got in a fight. My first fight, it was a fight that even shouldn't have been a fight. I told this guy it was we just walked out of class. Everybody was in the hallway. I wanted to be the tough guy, so I said to him just out of nowhere, "I heard you talk about my mama." He turned around and said, "What?" So he pushed me. Now let me tell y'all how geeky I was. I told y'all I was a geek, glasses and stuff. I had the roller book bag. So when he pushed me, to add insult on injury, I fell and I rolled back over the hallway. So now everybody's in the hallway. Oh, I took my backpack off. Man, I got up and wham, hit him right in the face. But guess where that fight happened? Right in front of the teacher's class that said, "You'll never be anything." You see how powerful words are? That whatever you speak over a person, you speak over a child, or you speak over yourself, those words will go out and create exactly what you say. I heard somebody say this: life is like a mirror, it'll only reflect what you put in front of it. So that situation happened with that teacher. But now let's move over to my language arts teacher that I wasn't good at school, wasn't getting good grades. All of a sudden, and this is a true story, I accidentally got an A. I don't know how it happened, y'all. Yeah, I accidentally got an A. I don't know how. I didn't study for the test or anything like that, but I got an A on that. And then she walked by, she handed me the paper, and she stopped by and she said these words that stick with me to this day. She said, "Look," she said, "you'll be good in school if you just try," and walked away. From that day on, everything changed. It wasn't nothing deep. It wasn't her having a one-on-one conversation, but it was a small word from that my language arts teacher. And from that day on, I've been awesome at writing papers, at spelling, and all this kind of. I mean, I don't know if we have any words with friends or Scrabble players out there, but you can get it at Caleb Wesco on Facebook. You can get it, right? But man, I'm a monster when it comes to spelling and working with words and stuff. But it's all from that one teacher said, "You can be good at school if you try."
I think that's amazing because you talked about the words, that people speak over your life and the self fulfilling prophecy elements of it, man. And I love it because I think that's definitely something that we can all be reminded of. How are we speaking to ourselves? How are we speaking to those around me? But the most important thing is that the way you speak to yourself is a reflection of how you will speak to other people. You got to give yourself what kudos, accolades, affirmation in order for you to see it in yourself so that you can see those things in others and to know how beneficial it is for you so you can know how beneficial it is to others so that you can give it to them. So, man, we're speaking in language right now. And so, so you talked about, you had that, that teacher that, spoke life into you. And she said that, you would be good at this. And so, you kind of like change things around. And now you get the opportunity to go and speak to educators, to go and speak to students. How is that? Tell me about that. That's now what you do for a living. Keeping that in mind, and that's got the fight. Teacher said you wouldn't, but you had one that said you did. Now you find yourself back where it all began. You in the classroom, you in schools, you speaking to educators. Talk to me about that.
Man, it was like I said, it was language arts, the teacher that really helped my life. And it's interesting, the class that transformed my life is now the hobby that has saved my life, right? That just so happened words were the thing that helped me out of my valley. And also words are assisting me now into getting into different rooms, impacting different people. changing different lives. And I'll tell a quick story, right quick, as I've moved over into speaking to students and stuff. Um, I was at a school down here, it was a high school, and they had a panel going on. And I wasn't participating in it because I was doing video. And there's one student, she got up and she said, and it was probably in front of like, I want to say 400 or 500 kids. She got up and said, "What do you do when you feel?" Oh no, she said, "What do you do when you feel too far gone? What do you do when you feel too far gone?" So Daniel, I'm going to actually ask you because there may be people out there that feel like that. So Daniel, what would your answer be in a situation like this if a person, a student, or a grown adult, or even sometimes you as a man, you look at yourself and like, man, I'm slipping. What do you do when you feel too far gone?
Man, when I feel too far gone, it's kind of one of those moments, those deep reflective moments to where you kind of got to find your way back. Find your way back to what got you feeling like you were lost. What have you lost sight of? And so for me, the things that I do in those moments is I start with the man in the mirror, and I start that you talked about words. I start with words. I have to reverse the way that I'm thinking about myself by reversing the way that I talk to myself because everything that you speak was once a thought. So if I want to start, feeling different about myself, I got to start thinking different and I got to start speaking different. And so I start with my words, and that's affirmation. You're not too far gone. Everything is going to be okay. You're having a moment. You may be in a valley right now, but guess what? You will rise above this. And I have to kind of like get myself out of there with my words.
Hmm. And I love how you put that because it's a moment, and moments come to stay, and moments come to pass as well. And the other thing is that it's speaking those affirmations over yourself, right? I am, I can, I will. If I ask somebody, and it happens all the time, tell me what you're good at. It takes them a long time to say what they're good at. Tell me what you're bad at. Oh, I'm bad at this and I'm bad. They're able to do it real quick. It's how you wire your mind, right? How you speak to yourself. So in that situation, it was interesting because we had mental health people on the panel, a whole bunch of other people. Everybody was looking at each other. So it was like 5 seconds that passed. It was like awkward silence. All of a sudden, I said, "Do you mind if I take this one?" They said, "Yeah." So I got the mic and I said, "I want to let you know that first off, you're not too far gone, because if you were too far gone, you wouldn't be here today." And on my Instagram post, uh, we you put a message up under there. You said you have to work on your craft, right? Even though there's no one there watching, work on your craft. And I had an opportunity while I was working on something yesterday, and they had a big stage. So I'm like, hey, let's do some content. But also, I was practicing too. I'm saying that to say this. There's a saying that says, practice when no one is watching. So when everyone is watching, you make it look easy. Practice when no one is watching. So when everyone is watching, you make it look easy. As a speaker, I'm trying to load myself with quotes, reading different books, and because you never know when you're going to have a situation like that your words could save someone's life. Your words could change someone else's mindset. So all of a sudden, when I'm in that moment and that child is saying that in front of all these kids and nobody really has the answer, now it's time to go one on one as far as impacting and changing a life. So I said that you not too far gone because you're still here. Not only that, but now let's pull something from practice. I pulled a quote that says, I want you to listen to me, that you have survived 100% of your bad days. You're doing great. All of a sudden, everybody's like, yeah, yeah. The girl, you saw her shoulders kind of slump over a little bit. I'm like, all right, we got you, right? But I'm not just saying that to her to like, oh, it's a really good quote. But I was like, no, you need something to really help that person during that moment. So I told her, you have survived 100% of your bad days. You're doing great. You probably heard me say it yesterday on my Instagram. I told her, I said, life doesn't happen to you, it happens for you to bring the best out of you. Yes, you may have some dark days, but I want to let you know this, that the dark days came to make you strong. Or maybe, just maybe, you're already strong, but the dark days made you prove it. You're here. That means that you've proved that the dark days can't take you out. I kid you not. In that moment, She literally fell into her seat. I mean, I'm talking about fell like a ton of bricks. Fell into her seat. She bust out crying. There was girls that came around her and stuff. They were hugging her and patting her on the back and stuff. She got up and ran out of the auditorium. People went with her, and I just started speaking to the rest of the people. I'm like, look, I said those moments where you guys feel like you're going through a valley, and they were making some church references. So I'm like, all right, well, might as well go there. I said those moments that you guys feel like you're going through a valley. You guys have read the Bible verse, yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow. I said words are so important because it didn't say, yea, though I walk in my valley. It said, yea, though I walk through my valley. Why? Words, again, words changed my life. Language arts changed my life. Words are so important because it said if I walk into my valley, there's a promise that you're going in, but there's no promise that you're coming out. But if it said I'm walking through my valley, there's a moment where you enter, there's a moment where you gotta stay, but also there's a moment that you gotta exit. So this right here, you're not too far gone. You're going through your situation. You're going through your struggle. When you have those moments where, like I had my accident that accident again didn't happen to me. It happened for me to bring the best out of me. It's something I had to go through. I just told you that my son had a seizure last two nights ago and stuff. I'm sitting over there. I was calm when I had him. I handed him over to the ambulance, and after that, man, I was crying and stuff. This is something I have to go through. You said that you lost some siblings along the way. People will be like, why me? This is something that I have to go through. Why? Because the dark days came to make you strong. Or maybe, just maybe, you are already strong, but the dark days are making you prove it. And it's showing you that you got something to offer. So, with all that being said, the reason why I go speak to students today is because they need encouragement. They need words to break strongholds over their life. They need words that I didn't have when I was coming up, right? They need people out there to show that, hey, you are special, you are worth it, you are genius, you are smart. Even though you can't speak the affirmations over you, I will come and empower you and give you the ammunition that you need that you can have mental self defense. What is mental self defense? I used to be in karate, man, I could throw these hands. But when they teach us self defense, you never go looking for a fight, but just in case a fight comes to you, you can defend yourself, right? I don't go looking for a bad day. I don't wake up, man, I want to have a bad day. When I go to the teachers, I'm like, y'all not looking for a bad day or bad students. It just happens. But if you get strong with your mental self defense, you can make sure you have the right mindset through your situation. So, why do I go back? I go back because that one teacher that negatively impacted me also was the one teacher that showed kids are going through these things. But that teacher that positively influenced me changed my whole life. Why do I go talk to teachers? Why do I go just talk to students? Very simple. We're going to change lives.
Awesome. So let me ask you this, man. You have a lot of, whether it be quotes, um, mantras, things that it's just like you pull out. Do you, obviously, language, words save your life, and, but do you make it a point to like study quotes to like memorize them so that you can have that mental self defense? Is that kind of like your mental self defense? Tell me a little bit more about that.
For when I used to study in martial arts, I'm a second degree black belt and also I was an instructor as well. We had to practice over and over and over again because in moments of panic, you don't rise to the occasion, you fall to the level of your preparedness, right? And the biggest thing is that during off time, downtime isn't off time, downtime is prep time. So when I would teach my students, when I would teach them, I'm like, look, let's do it like you're doing it for real, right? That carried over into my speaking journey. That when I read just in case I may need that. I see a quote, like my guy Daniel. I watch him. Make sure y'all go follow him on Instagram. Plug, right? I watch my guy Daniel because I don't know all the quotes. He may say something different. I'm like, oh, I didn't even think of it that way, right? You're studying at different times. So when it's time to pull something, you're able to pull it right at that time. You're able to pull it right there. For example, I'll share with you a story. and the story that I love to tell. Um, there was a young man that ran downstairs on a Saturday morning and he said, "Dad, let's go outside and play." But the dad, every Saturday morning, he read his National Geographics and he drank his coffee. He said, "Son, no, I'm reading my National Geographics and drinking my coffee. But if you know anything about kids, they very persistent. Dad, can we please go outside and play? No, I'm reading my National Geographics and drinking my coffee." And he asked one more time, "Dad, can we please?" Dad got mad. He's like, "Okay, well, you want to play a game?" He ripped a page out of his National Geographic, ripped it up into about 100 different pieces, slammed it on the table, and then said, "All right, you want to play a game? Let's play a game. Put all the pieces together." The kid said, "Okay." So he started putting the pieces together. Now, the dad, he kind of smiled. He thought he was slick because he knew that he bought himself some time. So he slides that magazine up. He begins to read and drinking his coffee. All of a sudden, the little boy drops a little paper on the ground. He picks it back up. 30 seconds later, he says, "Done, Dad." The dad looks down. He's like, "Whoa, this should have took him about 30 minutes. 30 seconds, he's done?" He looks out and the son got this goofy smile on his face. He said, "How'd you get done so fast?" Son says, "Dad, it was really hard. But what happened was this, that as I was putting the pieces together, the picture that you gave me was a picture of the earth or a picture of the world. But Dad, one of the pieces fell on the ground. And when the piece fell on the ground, I went down to get it. And Dad, we have a glass table. And did you know on the other side of the picture of the world, there's a picture of a man? So while I was down there, I said to myself, huh, if I put the man together, then I can put the world together." Now, many times people go through situations where you feel like you're at that rock bottom moment where you're on the ground. And you feel like you're trying to scatter and get things together. But during when you're on the ground, you may feel like your life is in pieces, Piece. But really, what happens is that you're also trying to put together your piece, your Peace as well, right? So you have to understand, what is peace. Peace is not the absence of hardship, hard work, or trouble. But true peace is to be in the midst of all those things and still keep calm in your heart. And I can promise you this, if you can put the man together, well, I know your wife is in the background, so I can say, if you put the woman together, you can put the world together. Now, you say, I tell that story because I read that story in a book. And I was like, that is a powerful story and it works every time. You can use it, man. It works every time, right? How do we put the pieces together? But then after that, I got the quote from Peace. Peace is not the absence of hardship, hard work, or trouble, but real peace is to be in the midst of all those things and still keep calm in your heart. I got that from a YouTube video that was it was an hour of stoic quotes, and that was one of the quotes that came. I'm like, oh, this story connects with that quote. But then because I love playing with words, I love homophones. Peace and peace, Piece and Peace. So I'm like, oh, I said, oh man, you may find your life in pieces. But then I'm like, okay, put it together like Legos. And then when it's time to rise to the occasion, speaking to people, boom, you're firing it off. And then people are like, ah! Right? They're like, oh my goodness, that was so good. But that can't happen. One, downtime is not off time, downtime is prep time. You never know when you're going to need that mental self defense, either if you're fighting against yourself or, man, you may be fighting with a tough crowd and you may need a story that just wham, just hits. But there's no way that you can do that if you're not practicing behind the scenes. I think that Damian Lillard said this: if I want to look good in front of thousands, I have to outwork thousands in front of nobody. Good players work out, great players outwork. Damian Lillard. Pull all those things when you get that downtime so you can drop that fire when it's showtime.
That's good, man. That's good. I think it was a similar quote. It was a story that was very similar to the one you just shared about Damian Lillard. Because it's like the difference between amateurs and pros. Let's use basketball. So it says an amateur will shoot so that they can make shots. A professional will shoot till they can't miss. And so it's like so. so so he said an amateur will shoot so they can make shots. but a professional would shoot so they can't miss. And that's that preparation that you're talking about right now. And that's the mindset to where I know that there are going to be moments to where, I got a million things going on at one time, or there's a lot of people out there, and I can't be focused on the moment. What do you say? I resort back to my preparation. I resort back to the things that I've been training for. And so um, keep working. Keep working when no one's looking, right? You may have some moments, may have some times where you feel like, oh man, I'm in a blind spot season where no one sees me. Keep working. Everybody's day is coming, and so is yours. And so I love that, man. This right here is like a mental reset. Honestly, that's what I feel like you provide a mental, a refreshing in a way. That's what I would call. You're just like a breath of fresh air, because like it's so encouraging the way you speak, what you say. Very intentional about your words, and English language arts saved your life, and so you're using language to save lives, and I love it. Man, this is amazing.
Well, I was going to say I do want to say this, that language arts uh, help get me in the right direction, but different speakers such as yourself keep me going. And I also want to say this because the biggest thing is that as men, a lot of times we don't give each other flowers, right? And the reason why I go so hard is because I see other people like you, Daniel, you going hard too, right? When I saw that first video, now actually no, my first post that I saw, it was you with all the books, right? The really big book sale. Now I'm like, yo, man, I said I gotta get like that, right? Those that's what really impacts, to be able to have a different mindset, to be resilient when things don't go right. Because if you're in any part of life, things will not go right. As a speaker, there's some times where people are like, yeah, we would love for you to speak. Then you give them the price. They're like, well, they send the email. They don't get on the phone. They send the email. We've decided to go in a different direction. It happens, right? But when you have people to look to, when you have people to look beside you, and you see that people are still doing the same thing, you're like, yo, I got to keep going because that person's keeping going. So I want to give some flowers right quick, because Daniel helped me not only to bring myself to another level, but then not only that, but man, that Bullies anthem, that book, that thing ain't nothing to be played with, man. The kids, they get it. It's quick. It has a powerful message. I did change the second part of it, so it's no bullies, no bullies, no bullies in my school. We don't do no bullying because bullying ain't cool. And then I added a part. I said no bullies, no bullies, no bullies in my mind, speaking positivity to me all the time, and it goes with the beat, right? So the kid, hey, you, bro, that's on you. I'm just using the music, but every time I play it, I'm like, all right, guys, you gotta do it for Mr. Daniel and stuff. So they, like I said, they know you. But the reason why I'm saying it is that even that second part of the words would not have happened if you weren't doing what you were doing, man. The inspiration of even this conversation would not have happened if you weren't doing what you were doing. And having this podcast and traveling around the United States and people that have been impacted by you. So when it comes to us helping people and saving mental lives or spiritual lives or whatever it is, man, we're doing an important job. So if nobody has told you, man, I appreciate what you do because I've been impacted by what you do, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And giving flowers, man. I have to give them back because I think that we don't. One of the things that I heard is that it's hard for men to receive encouragement, for them to receive accolades. And I admit it, I'm one of those people, and I work really really hard. But the whole receiving stuff. But my love language is words of affirmation. And so I want to say, number one, I genuinely appreciate it. And number two, I appreciate you as well. We haven't, for those that are out there, we haven't physically met in person, but I feel like we have. And, this brother right here is someone that I call, someone that I text, someone that I trust. And I sent him the song over, and he's like, "Oh, this is fire." And then he did literally that same day. I think it was the same day. He sent me a DM. Yep, it was the same day. He sent me a DM of him in the school sharing it with some students. And anyway, you don't have, what I'm saying, to do that. Obviously, you don't have to go into, like, you're going into a school, which is technically let's say it's about you, right? You are in front of them. They're there for you, and for you to bring somebody into that moment that you haven't physically met before. I think that's, man. It just speaks of the person that you are. It speaks of, your character, and man, I'm honored that we get an opportunity to be able to share your voice, to share your inspiration, to share your words with the world. So I want to kind of end things right here. We have this segment. It's one of my favorite segments, and it's called "Better Days Ahead." And what it is that it's inspiration and it's encouragement for those that are listening, those that may be experiencing some hardships, may be in a valley moment right now. What encouragement, if whether it's a mantra, whether it's, I know you got words, I know you got quotes, so I can't wait for this. What do you have to share with somebody that's listening that may be experiencing some challenges right now in this moment? The floor is yours.
When you say better days ahead, and for those that are listening as well, I'm just going to say it like this: better days are coming for me. For the people that are listening to this, wherever you are, at whatever time, this is a word of affirmation to speak over yourself. Better days are coming for me. Now, the reason why I say that is because I want to go and take a flashback. Y'all remember getting on the bus? Now, when you had to get on the bus, you couldn't show up when the bus showed up. You couldn't show up after the bus showed up because you got left, right? What you had to do is you had to get out of your comfort zone first. What is that? That's your bed, right? And what is your comfort zone? Comfort zone may be like, oh, I don't know. I'm just going to stay here. And no, no, no. It's time for you to step out of your comfort zone into what I like to call your construction zone. Now, when you step into your construction zone, that's a place where you're going to be built up. And one of my favorite quotes is this: is that sometimes it may not look like what it will be, but always keep this in mind, that you are under temporary construction for permanent improvement. Better days are coming for me. You step out of the bed, you're walking to the bus stop, you may pass somebody else's house that they ain't there. You either knock on that door, or you got to keep walking because you got something to catch, because you need to be there before the bus. And by the time the bus comes, you get on the bus, and then after that, you go there. But now, the thing about the bus stop is this: usually when you're there, the bus ain't there yet. You're looking down the street, but it's not there. You're kind of talking with your friends, but it's not there. Ain't that the same thing that goes on in life? You've been practicing, you've been studying, you've been applying yourself, you've been going through personal development, and it seems like you haven't reached your point of there yet. However, it's on its way. Just because it's delayed does not mean that it's denied. Better days are coming for me. You may have somebody come up to you and said, the bus ain't coming. It ain't coming for you. You're like, no, it doesn't matter what that person says. The job ain't coming. The opportunity ain't coming. The call ain't coming. The money ain't coming. The kids or the better version of you, it's never going to come. No, I know that I moved from where I was to where I needed to be. It's coming for me. I've invested the time, the energy, and the effort. It's coming for me. I have to have a positive attitude in this. It's coming for me. I have to have faith in this situation. It's coming for me. What in the world is faith? Faith is an acronym. FAITH. Fear ain't in this house. Better days are coming for me. So the next time that you have moments where negativity is trying to bother you, it's like, you know what? You missed your opportunity. You missed your chance. Just like we said before, when life is going up and down, it's not a bad sign. It's a good sign. It shows that you're still alive. If you're still alive, that means that one, that you have survived 100% of your bad days. You're doing great. Life didn't happen to you, it happened for you to bring the best out of you. Better days are coming for me. Yes, you may have been that teacher that had that human moment. Yes, you may have been that person that made a mistake. Yes, you may be that person in 2024. You're trying to change habits, but when you take one step forward, it seems like you're taking 3 steps back. It's okay. Constant and consistent, man. I'm feeling all right. Constant and consistent effort towards one common goal, it will bring results. Better days are coming for me. Not only are better days coming for me, better days are also coming for the people that are around me and surround me, because my influence is contagious. My smile is contagious. Me being at the right place early, it is also contagious, because when you go to the bus stop, you don't arrive by yourself. There's other people that congregate around. Oh, you here too? Oh, you waiting too? Oh, you still going in too? Oh, you haven't quit too? Why? Yes, because we all have the conversation that better days are coming for me. For you guys that are out there that may feel on the verge of quitting, my favorite poem. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're on seems all uphill, when the funds are low and the debts are high, you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When life is pressing you down a bit, rest if you must. But don't you quit. Don't quit on your dream. Better days are coming for you. Don't quit on your goal. Better days are coming for you. Don't quit on that thing that seems way ahead. Let me tell you something. The future you is real. The future you is just calling to the present you, saying, hurry up, we need to meet. And the only way that you can meet is one action at a time. One immediate action is way better than 1,000 good intentions. Better days are coming for you. You just have to get to the point where you pace yourself. What is pace? PACE. Positive attitude changes everything. A positive mindset changes everything. Being resilient, it changes everything. But I want to also let you know this: one day, it's going to be your turn. One day, you're going to hear a sound coming that's like, that sounds like the book. Get yourself together. Start getting yourself ready for that next meeting. Start getting yourself ready for that next conversation. Get into the gym and take that one more step. Lift that one more weight. Go and ask one more time. Go and study one more time for that exam. Start getting yourself together, because it's on its way. Better days are coming for you. And I'll leave you guys with this story. That same young man that said, if I put the man together, I'll put the world together. Dad was like, okay, son, all right. Well, we'll go outside and play football. You just go upstairs and get your shoes on. The little boy upstairs, when he was getting stuff together, all of a sudden Dad was putting some stuff together, and you just hear boom, boom, boom. Dad looks upstairs and says, son, you okay? He didn't hear anything. He walks upstairs. He hears boom, boom, boom. He kind of opens the door and sees his son looking out the window, and he hears it again, and his son starts jumping. He said, ice cream truck, Daddy, ice cream truck. The dad kind of went out and he kind of looked out the window, and he said, son, there ain't nothing out here. He looked at his dad and he jumped and he said, ice cream truck, Daddy, ice cream truck. He said, son, there's nothing out there. He said, no, Daddy, it's not here yet, but it's on the way. Ice cream truck, Daddy, ice cream truck. I hear the sound, ice cream truck, ice cream truck. Your business is going to work out. Better days are coming for you. Ice cream truck, that business that you want to take on to the next level, that book that you want to read. Ice cream truck, it's on its way. Anything that you're setting your mind to, I'm telling you guys, it may not be here yet, but it's on its way. You may want to go ahead and put a t-shirt with an ice cream. People are going to be like, what does that mean? Don't worry about it. It's not here yet, but better days is on its way. Y'all, my name is Caleb Wesco, motivational speaker, to keep you going every single day. Let's get motivated. And guys, this was an awesome, awesome experience.
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Round of applause. Give it up to my main man, Mr. Caleb Wesco. As you can see, why he's Mr. Let's Get Motivated. I don't know about you, but I'm motivated. As a matter of fact, I do know about you, because there's no way that you can listen to this and not be encouraged, to not be motivated. And so we'll end with what he just left us with. Listen, look yourself in the mirror. Look yourself in the mirror today. Before you get things going, listen to this and tell yourself, it's on the way. Better days are ahead for me. Again, better days are ahead. A little bit louder. Better days are ahead. Personalize it. For who? For me. So you out there, never forget this. Better days are ahead. You all go and have an amazing day. Thank you all for your time.